how was your experience talking to her and interacting with the students today?
I had a good time. They were a very enthusiastic bunch, and I hope I gave them good insights because it has only been a couple of months that they've actually come and joined the institute now, and I'm hoping that they'll carry some wisdom into the 2 years that they're actually investing. Because a journey in a PGDM or an MBA course is largely to do with where you end up with respect to a company, and that decision making process is often skewed. So that is the kind of insight I wanted to drive as to some part of it can be controlled and not just be left to the mechanics of a placement process. And you can willfully get into a certain place as long as you actually aspire for it, which is something I wanted to drive. And they seem pretty receptive. I'm hoping they got
That was
what
very
I
nice.
wanted to say. Alright, great.
And next, I want you talked about there being a formula for career growth that relatives popularize these days.
Right.
Yeah. So, how important do you think risk taking is in one's career?
See, we should first look at what is risk. I mean, you changing industries, is that a risk? Or you want to stop working as a professional, start something on your own, is that a risk?
Right.
You stop working completely, go travel, is that a risk? And do you want to stop working and raise kids? This could be both for men and women. And is that a risk? So risk is what kind of problem it? What is it that you want to do and call it a risk? For me, choice is a better word than risk, because you do not take any of these decisions unconsidered and not dependent. The decision making process is a little more complex. But at any point, work is the only area that is going to be a place where you're going to spend maximum amount of your waking hours. So that has to be a very, very happy place. It has to be something that is very fulfilling. So for you to be there, you should totally enjoy yourself. And if that is not happening, because see, workplace is not just fun and games. Even fun and games are fun and games because they come at a certain point and they fall at a certain point. So essentially, when you have a sustained period of time, let's say about 2 years, you will naturally have periods which are low, periods which are very high. This could be with respect to work pressure, this could be with respect to the kind of work that you're doing. Some will be very exciting, some will be very monotonous, some will be very operational in nature, some will be very, very challenging in nature. So, holistically the work should be this. So over a 2-year period or a 3-year period, when you do your assessment and you feel that you are well appreciated as to where you are, and you feel that you are very engaged, then the most important advice that I want to leave people with is grass is not greener on the other side. You should actually stay where you are because you are actually fulfilled when you're actually there. And that is something that people should carry. And if that is not happening, that's when a change is due. And you can keep looking for those pastures. And when you arrive at it, keep it. And when we come back to the risk question, you should do anything that is a priority in your life, and that is something that is your calling. When we often confuse as to what our calling is, we don't do anything consistently over a sustained period of time. If you take 2 generations earlier, our parents or grandparents did not quite have a choice. They started their career with one company, stayed there pretty much all their lives, and worked there. So, did they take a risk? Were they not aspirational enough, or did they not have ambitions? Not really. They did a great job of balancing life. The way we balance life is very different now. We live in an atomized world where our entity, we no longer live along with our parents. We are far away in different locations, and most of the time we are fending for ourselves. And at that time, you have to ask yourself, what is the way you want to live your life? And when those questions are not getting answered either through your personal life or your professional life, it's time for a change. If that is a risk somebody has to take, somebody has to take it.
That's very well put, sir. And I believe a level of introspection that one needs to be taken into consideration before making career choices is very important. So going to the next question, I'd like to ask you, do you think if there is a recipe for being a successful leader? And if there is, then what's it?
Alright, so I'll put it in the best way I understand this.
Yeah.
I follow a lot of leaders,
Yeah.
and I've also been privileged to have worked under a lot of very, very good leaders. And as a leader myself, I see myself only getting better every time. And I just want to put the crux as leadership is never about that person.
Right.
Leadership is only about the people you're leading. And if their priority is your priority, somewhere everything is in sync. Because as a leader, you can show direction when your team needs direction. You don't have to show direction when your team does not need direction. And for that understanding, you should be very attuned to your team.
Yes.
And if that is not happening, that is where the leadership is actually failing.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, we look at leaders for everything that has to be done. We look at leaders and say that they seem to have all the answers. Leaders seldom have all the answers. A know-it-all does not become a leader. A leader is a person who knows how to handhold someone when they need it the most. So, leadership is actually more about the people they lead than the person himself. So, if you can actually gather your troops, rally them, and march them forward, at all the times standing in front of them, you're a leader.
It's very well said. And I completely agree with you. Moving on to the next question, which is a very technical one. Technology has seeped into various functions of a business. So, how has it affected talent acquisition?
In many, many ways.
Yeah.
What you increasingly see is we have right now where technology is playing a prominent role is in assessments.
Yeah.
And when we talk about assessments usually form the pre-stage to an interview process, where we have people who do some kind of a psychometric test. And now there are a lot more, you can put it as software elements that are getting added into it. It is not just aptitude. People want to look at elements such as what kind of a person that person will be, what kind of deductive reasoning the person has, inductive reasoning the person has, what kind of, how vigilant the person is, or what kind of abilities will the person exhibit under pressure.
Yeah.
Everything can be measured with a good psychometric test. So now we have tools which can actually offer you, they no longer look at you taking a test. They will look at you from a body language perspective, look at you from a micro expressions perspective, and exactly give a map as to what kind of a person are you. And we've reached that level of competency, but the adaptation is still slow. Because you have to understand that the people who form leaders in companies and who actually want to hire people in their own teams, they've still not risen to this level of understanding or awareness with respect to what technology can do.
Right.
But when you look at it at a global level, are tools available? There are all kinds of tools available.
Yeah.
So talent acquisition is one place that is seeing the fastest adaptation when it comes to technology. Where one big area is the application tracking systems. You have so many good ones now with a lot of artificial intelligence coming in. Your targeting has become that much better. You look at profiles with a lot more synergy. We have companies which now master, you can upload a job description and it will tell you whether this kind of a job description is good for you to attract diversity candidates or not. Whether a female candidate reading a job description, is the person likely to apply for this job description or not, and this is only looking at words, which is text. So we look at how we measure cognition, we look at how we measure shortlisting or screening. Everything's been disrupted by technology. Where I see the slowness is the adaptation piece, because you still have to convince a CEO for the utility of it. And the utility should come in the form of quality of hire, cost arbitrage, and usually a combination of both this. And when I say quality, time to hire, and all these things also fall in. So when technology is able to achieve this at a significant scale and at a significantly lower cost, and with technology, one thing is assured that the error rate is going to be very, very low. So when you combine all these things and there is utility for a business, the adaptation will increase. So I think the future is here and you will see more and more of it happen.
That's a great piece of information that you gave. On a closing note, I would like to ask you on any advice that you would like to give our budding managers who will be joining up the professional space in a couple of years.
This is what I usually keep doing. I keep rolling out a lot of advice. I hope it's getting heard also sometimes. So, what happens with people who pass out of a B school is they get very disenchanted right 2 years into any job that they take up. Unless it is something that they've really adapted and they've really loved doing, they usually get disenchanted with the job. And you can always notice this from a 0 to 2 years kind of experience, especially after passing out from an MBA. See, what happens at an MBA course is you're taught subjects at a strategic level. What happens on the job is you are expected to execute at an operations level. And the operations level is a lot more mundane than the exciting case studies that you did. We studied about what Coca-Cola did at a certain market, but you will still have to ensure the distribution of those bottles happening on a daily basis, which is a lot more mundane and not discussed in your case study. So that is where the disconnect sort of comes. When people come in, the expectation is nothing on the job. So my biggest advice for them is to be patient, because over a course of about 5 to 7 years, this is an advice even I got when I passed out of my MBA. You will see that you would have done your execution piece, you would have also done what you learned as a part of your MBA. They both will sort of marry, and you will see the utility coming. But you will have to put in your dirty work for you to get the utility of the course itself. An MBA course is not an immediately rewarding course. The only immediate reward you have is placements. Post that, for your knowledge to fructify, it will take time. And people do not see that immediate application of what they've learned as part of their discussions, cases, assignments. They get really disenchanted and they ask questions like, is this what I did my MBA for? But this is exactly what you did your MBA for. So you should hold on, be patient. And people also have this misconception that an MBA prepares you to be a leader. An MBA does not prepare you to be a leader. An MBA prepares you to be a manager, where you can manage many things very efficiently, because you have a good understanding of an organization as a whole. So the one advice that I want to leave, especially budding managers and new pass-outs, is that hold on, be patient, and invest yourself in the place that you've actually joined. Things will work out, and it will come out in a very big way.
That was a great advice. And thank you for your time for this interview. I hope our viewers gain valuable insights from this. And I hope to see you in the campus next year.
Thank you so much. Thanks for your time.